Well, one of the things that happens from time to time is these stabilizers have issues. You know, they're down here in the dirt and the grime, and they need to be repaired from time to time. So I'm going to do this video showing you how I'm going to make an attempt to fix this thing. It's pretty good size. Of course, you have to jack up the motorhome and make sure it's high enough that you can get under it comfortably, and also that, you know, it's solid and secure so it's not going to fall on you. These things are death traps if you get under them and they're not supported properly. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can loosen these big bolts and see if I can get this thing off so I can check it out. Well, one thing you want to remember is these are all steel, all heavy metal items, and I've got 3 of the bolts out now, and I got my floor jack underneath it to kind of support the weight on it, because it's when I take that 4th bolt out, there's not going to be anything to hold it, so it could come crashing down on my head. So I'm going to have to be a little cautious of that, and so we're going to see what happens here. If there's no more video after this, you'll know things went terribly wrong. Well, we got it down without a disaster. So now I'm going to take it over to the workbench and take a look and see what the problem is on why it's not working. Okay, I found the tool. It's a T25 Tex driver to remove these corner screws, and so we're going to remove those. Let me try something here to see if I can release all the dirt and crud from it. She's just caught with a bunch of grease. Okay. And we'll set this off to the side. And now we can see how things are working here. And for whatever reason, they're binding up. Okay, now the next thing to do is take a picture of this. I want to make sure that if nothing else, I'll be able to see how this thing is put together, because after you fiddle around and tear things apart, you're not going to remember. So we'll take a few pictures here. Okay, and now maybe we'll be able to see what's going on. Here. So one of the first things to do, get a clean area to put some of these parts on, and then we'll pick things off one at a time. This guy here seemed to be a bit of a problem. Okay, so I think I'll clean this up a little bit first before I do any more. That way I can see what's moving and what's not moving, and we'll kind of go from there. Well, after a great deal of tearing this thing apart, going through all the gears, double checking the cotter pin, or not the cotter pins, but the shear pins that are on the gearing, and lubing everything up, putting it all back together. And on top of that, I gave it 2 good whacks with my hammer, put it all back together, and she's working. I have no idea what I fixed, but I think I must have realigned the gearing or something. Maybe not. It is going part way up and part way down. I don't know if maybe there's some corrosion in there that's jamming it, because before it wouldn't even do this. So I'm going to work it back and forth a few times with my drill motor and see if I can loosen it all up and get it all to run, because all the gears are correct and everything's in there correct, and I've lubed everything, so it should be working. But if I run into more snags with this, I'll take it into a dealership. The only problem is there's nobody here in town, and I have to go out of town quite a ways to try to find somebody that'll work on these, and then it's just a scheduling problem after that. So I'm going to try to see if I can get it to release and work on its own, and then after that we'll see what happens. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's coming in, and now go out. well, I made multiple attempts to fix the leveling leg on the Atwood Leveling system on the Tiffin Motorhome. Made a number of attempts and it kept seizing up, so I think the screw, the shaft that goes down through the leg, I think it's got some rust or something in there and it's seizing it up, which is kind of normal because when it gets to the end of how it's supposed to go, when it unscrews to a certain point and there's resistance, it stops, so to keep it from damaging it. And I think that's what's happening. It's just getting to that point where the rust's there and it just stops. So it does work partially, and I've been watching some videos, and Martin and Joni of RV Street had kind of a neat idea of making some pad extensions or pads to put underneath your leveling legs to make the distance of travel shorter so that they don't have to go as far. And so I kind of did the same thing. I got a piece of treated lumber, 12 inches wide, and I cut some 12-inch square pieces out of it, and then I put a nylon rope to make it easy to maneuver and handle and to get in and out. And I put it underneath all the pads and cycled the system on auto, and it came down, leveled out the coach, and did a good job. So I think as I do that more and I work the leg, maybe that rust and stuff will break free and it'll start working, because mechanically everything is fine. I mean, it works right. The signal that goes to it sends it down, it lifts it back up and all that. It just gets to a certain point where I believe the rust or whatever is in there and it just stops. So anyway, we're going to try this and see if this works. We're getting ready to head out soon. As we get closer into the end of summer, pretty soon, then we're going to look at heading down to Arizona, or at least out of this area. The heat is, like today, it's 103 today here. Arizona, it's not a lot hotter down there, so I mean, heck, we could be down there enjoying stuff in Arizona. But at any rate, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Click the notification bell to let you know when we're putting out another video. And once again, thanks again for watching.